5 people.
The news and views expressed herein are the sole property of Kenosha Today. Certain portions of this program would be unsuitable for children, sensitive adults, small animals, and the general public. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, what do you think, Scottie? We're ready?
Let's rock and roll.
All right, there we go. Oop. Here we are, boys and girls.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Uncle Scottie Barter, and welcome along with my personal caregiver, Elmo the Insane Schneider. We are your wartime TV hosts, and we welcome you to the March 27th edition of the all-new Kenosha Today Daily Update. Again, we are coming to you live and local this afternoon from the Barter Manor studio, which we are going to be calling home for at least April 24th, unless something materializes.
See what happens.
We'll get a brief from the governor or the president, or we just don't care. We are considered essential people, as declared by the non-essential people.
Media.
In the media. We are here every afternoon at 2 p.m., and we will be coming to you in our normal Saturday time slot tomorrow at 10
For the Kenosha Today Breakfast Club.
As you can see, we are streaming live across the cool and damp cornfields, not only in the Midwest, but all across
Rather
the entire
foggy out
planet.
there.
It is a little foggy. That's 41 degrees here in the Kenosha today.
Hey, boy.
You know, it's actually supposed to start warming up here. Of course, we're getting to the 1st of April next week. At any rate, we are brought to you this afternoon by our major sponsors, Barter's Financial Planning Services, along with the Union Park Tavern and a host of other very fine local businesses.
I have to mention what Union Park Tavern is doing for the fish fry tonight.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not only can you do that, but if you're jonesing for one of their brandy old fashions, they're making up the mix for the old fashioned, and they will sell you enough for 4 old fashions, and then throw in a half-pint bottle of Corbel on top of it, so you can take their their old-fashioned stuff home with you and have they have a good old Wisconsin brandy old-fashioned before you have your fish
They
fry.
must have got special permission. I think everybody that's doing takeout, and it's
No, that's under their liquor license.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, that's
a bar. I believe they can sell up to a 6-pack of beer, a bottle of wine, or a bottle of liquor, but they're limited to that. Liquor stores can sell larger quantities of that stuff.
Okay.
So.
I think we have most of our little kinks worked out. It seems to put together
So far,
a little
so
bit,
good. Yep.
and we're pretty much good to go. And we have our new phone number, 262. We're going to put this up here, 597-3020. Again, it should be up there. There it is, 262-597-3020. You can call us.
Give a call.
And we do? Oh, no. I can't see that. Right.
Give us a call.
Give us a call. For those who are used to listening to us on AM radio, when I made the decision about a month ago to stay committed to the Kenosha area and have a true meaning of live and local. And we are bringing you the most up-to-date news, weather, not so much sports. They canceled the Indy 500, or postponed it, and entertainment. By the way, speaking of sports, are they going to have the Masters just later? Or they just canceled entirely?
No, it's supposed to be later. They announced August, I think they're going to look to do it. So.
Okay. Well, hopefully everything will be cleared up by then. And if you want to watch the replay of this...
Here's a quiz for you today. What was the original name of the Masters?
It was the name of the... Wasn't it Augusta something?
Yeah, Augusta National Championship. That's what it was.
I don't remember what I had
Very
for
good,
lunch.
Scott.
I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. But my mind is just clear that I'm quarantined. You know, when everybody's... It's new. It's new for people to work at home, but since I moved to this house 14 years ago, I've been working from home since
the whole time.
So to me, this is just
no difference.
No different to me. The only thing that's a little problematic is usually about 3 o'clock when I would go down to my our watering hole. My
Amen
production
corner,
meetings,
yeah.
Amen corner. I hope that they're taking care of that and polishing it up and hitting it with spritzer and whatever else they got to do. Hand sanitizer. You were talking about hand sanitizer that you heard someplace that just regular soap is
Soap
just
is
as
better.
good as, anyway, as long as I'm on this. Yesterday, I was looking out my front window, and this gal comes and parks her car right in front of Barter Manor, goes around and washes her hands, puts out a little bag, and then walks 3 doors down. There's nobody parked in the middle. So spread your germs here, right? Take your germs, move on away. And then I took a picture. I was gonna put her license plate number up there, but
Well, maybe she was being polite, leaving room for other cars that were going to come. So.
well, there wasn't no other cars. Yeah, she just wanted to spread the disease here. You know what? I should have.
You didn't recognize her, did you?
No. No wonder she went 3 doors down. Maybe she recognized me. Yeah, I didn't want to. If I felt Elmo, if I would have put that up on the screen, that license plate number, I'd end up being sued again. And
Probably, yeah.
not very good in court
Yeah.
these days. Anyway, if you want to watch the replay of this nonsense, you no longer have to wait for a specific time. You go to YouTube or the Kenosha Today website.com, right?
Yep.
And now, just so we have an understanding, it's not going to be there till probably 5, maybe 6, because it just doesn't happen like
It
this.
takes a while for
Yeah.
YouTube to process the show that was
Right.
live that day.
And
So.
where all of this, like especially to me, that never grew up in the computer era, I never understood this, and I think a lot of our people that are older, they don't understand this either. But this live streaming and these podcasts, it's here, and this is going to change entirely how radio is probably been a thing of the past. But this is what's coming, and I think we just happen to be in the right place at the right time.
We will be seeing about getting these shows on radio for podcasts, so you can. They won't be live, but then you can listen to replays of the show on.
On a radio station?
Yep.
Oh, how do we do that?
I'll explain it. It's
No,
not.
don't. I probably won't.
It's a little too technical for live
little over
television.
my head?
Yeah.
Well, probably way over my head. I said it's 41 degrees here in the Kenosha Today Nation. And the big news today, they finally the House passed the $2 trillion stimulus. And this one guy, what a yahoo!
I don't think he's.
Well, he almost put a kink in this because he made all these guys come back. Guys, he's a Republican, to make a difference. Thomas Macy of Kentucky, he infuriated both parties, and they all had to get and come back because he was going to make instead of what do they call voice consent?
Voice vote.
He wanted to make sure everybody was there in person. Why? When they've already done this, that would have held it up for probably.
Well, no, he wanted people to be on record, whether what their vote was. By a voice vote, there's no record of it.
Oh, okay. Well,
So so if somebody doesn't like the way you voted, they can't prove it. They can't come back and say, well,
all right,
you did or didn't vote for this thing, and their opponents in the election would use that. So
but yesterday when they were having these procedural things, was that discussed then?
I didn't pay attention to it. So.
When they had these procedural things and they had consent votes to see how this was going to go, 2 hours of debate, etc. I thought that was already
I really don't
taken
know.
care of. But anyway,
It's all making sausage to me.
the guy would have needed 216 members of the House to go with him that would have put this off. But anyway, it's passed, and now what's going to happen is everybody's going to get, you can go online and type in calculate your stimulus package, and there's a couple questions. First, have you filed your 2019 taxes, yes or no? If you filed them, I think whether you owed them or not, I suggest that you pay it by April 15th, because if you file for an extension, this is going to prolong your stimulus check out probably at least a couple more months, because they will then use your 2018 return, and it's going to it's going to mess you up, I'm going to tell you. It says if you're single, married, or head of household, and then you put in your adjusted gross, and how many children you have, and you hit calculate, and it'll tell you 1,200, 2,400, whatever. So, and the other thing is, this is being treated just like a normal IRS check. It's not going to be taxable. If you owe taxes from a previous year of, let's say, I don't know, $500, they're going to deduct your
They're gonna take it out,
$500 before and give you the net. So, a lot of questions that are going to be asked here, and then the unemployment was voted on in this bill that will extend it and up the amount that you're going to get. So all of that is in here. And as we spoke yesterday, why they put all of this other stuff in there, the improvements to the Kennedy Center, I think it was.
Yep.
I mean, of which, unless you're the Rockefellers and the Morgan Chases, nobody uses.
Well, you have to look. There's apparently they need new light fixtures and stuff like that. But you got some electrician or some guy like that. He's got to get paid to put the light fixtures in. So it's not trickle down economics, which some people don't think exists. But there's a prime example of it.
Yeah. So at any rate, if you have a question, 262-597-3020, and if you the good, bad, if you've had filed your previous taxes and you had direct deposit, you will get this check. So they say direct deposit. If you normally get a paper check, that's how you're going to get it. So, and there should be a place online, just like if you were when you go to the IRS website and says, "Where's my refund?" You should be able to. I'm going to think when they announce this is.
Where's my check?
Yeah, where's my check?
Where's my dinner?
We sent it to somebody in Bolivia. Local news: the Kenosha County number of people with COVID 19. Oh, this is Wisconsin. Rose to more than 700. Now that's just the people that have the disease.
That have been diagnosed with being positive,
yeah, right.
So they may not even have symptoms.
And they may not even
or they
be
get
hospitalized.
No, they may have a little sniffle or something like
Yeah.
that, low-grade fever. It's like a common cold.
Yeah. And it's a respiratory. And the people that are having going to the hospital and have to be put on these ventilators are generally older people. And there was a case...
Or they have a compromised immune system or some other type of respiratory problem that existed before this.
And even cancer. And that's what happened here, a 79-year-old woman in Milwaukee. But she had she had other problems. So, but this just compounded it. So, and then a 57-year-old woman died in West
It's
Dallas.
the same people that are killed by the flu every year.
Yeah.
It's not just
so, unfortunately...
pretty much another kind of... It's not exactly another kind of flu, but it's kind of acts the same way.
And so we talked yesterday about the city council electing to have their meetings via teleconference. No, these guys, they're sitting right on top of each other. They're not 6 feet apart. Come on. Or you got to be a team player, huh? We're all in this together. I don't want my alderman, who happens to be Mr. Lamacchia, I don't want him coming down with the virus. Now, when they have these teleconferences, I don't know if they're still going to have these in the regular council chambers, or if, because it didn't say that, or if they're going to go into one of the bigger meeting rooms and put people 6 feet apart. I don't know if this, what do you think, Elmo? Is that 6 feet apart really?
Well, it says committees, so you have how many people are on a committee. It's a rather small number. It's not the whole council.
I get that, but when you got 17 council members...
well, how many are originally on a committee? 3, 4?
Yeah, about 4 or 5.
Yep.
Usually it's an odd number, so... But they're going to continue business, and I got a text from our good friend Spider, who lives on 7th Avenue. And the last 4 days, the city street sweepers are going through.
At least they're not using the snowplows. Come on.
Well, that's probably guy got on and started the wrong the deal. So
Well, that's not bad. Well, it's the time of year they would be doing it anyway. It's the spring. You got all the winter debris that's still left around,
well,
dead leaves and whatever garbage was in the snow piles and stuff like that. You go around and pick it up.
all the little chips and cracks from the cement that the snowplows dug up.
That's right.
Actually, we had kind of
We had a very mild winter this
I
year.
don't think
Yep.
we came anywhere close to our average snowfall, which I think is around 70 some inches a year. And I thought for sure as soon as we got hit the end of October or November, man, when that stuff gets there and stays 4 months, that's depressing. So, we dodged the bullet there, and I don't think we need to even bring back this. Somebody, I thought they were going to change this 2-inch to 4-inch.
Back to 4-inch again?
We don't need this 2-inch.
People in the 17th district have learned how to drive in snow.
Yeah, shocking. All of that was, I remember 2 years ago, was because we had an early storm. It was wet, and it was about the first week or mid-November. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it caught us off guard.
Right.
So for that, we had to change this and increase the amount of money we pay for plow runs. It just didn't make any sense. Some of the things that you have to be careful of is the scammers that are out there. And they're scamming everything. They're looking for donations and, they're going by mail, and somebody calls you and say they're with the Medicare, especially to the seniors. I just had one here before. I get 3 or 4 calls a day. And don't give them your social security number. Don't give them your Medicare number. Don't give them anything. You can have it all. Go ahead. Take it. You can take the bills with it too.
Yep.
But I was on this, I still think I'm on this no-call list. And it seems like more times I put my name on the no-call list, the more calls I get. So
that's because they found that even if these people are fined, they make more money on. Even a legitimate telemarketer can make more money off of that than the fines are for doing it. So.
Right. Let's see here. Spider says, looks good and sounds good. Back to work, Spider.
God, we did something right.
Break time's over. I like him when he sits there and takes an hour for lunch or whatever he's doing.
Yep.
He lets the wife keep working. Now that's the kind of spirit we like.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, we're all in this together. Let her work and you take an hour
There's
off.
somebody smart out there.
Yeah. But anyway, worry about the scams, and then there's robocalls. And usually if you do, they try to fool you. They put a 262 number.
Well, they can put any number on there.
Yeah, and it's usually a lower number, starting with 2 something or 3 something. And if you answer it and nobody's there, they're just waiting for a voice activation. Is that how that works? Well, hang up, and then you can block that call.
Well, the other thing they do is I don't know if it's been done in a while, but there was a scam where a voice would come on. It was this, is this Scott Barter? And if you say yes, they cut the yes out of there, and then they will say, would you like us to install new gutters on your house at a cost of $10,000? Yes. Okay.
Well, this is the age of technology, and they can do practically anything. We were talking yesterday about price gouging, and what'd you say about price of eggs? That used to be 99 cents.
It was like 89 or 99 cents last week, or $3 a dozen for the same. Tripled in 1 week. So
the chickens just got to be, they got to be.
They're working them to death.
They're probably in some sweatshop over in China, pumping out these eggs. Mm-hmm. I was waiting to hopefully our friend in the military, in the Army Reserves, Woody Vicentainer would call us. Woody, if they've been called up, and I want to ask them exactly where they're located and exactly what they're doing. I don't know if they were called up just as a standby. I know I saw in the news, it actually was on Fox today, Governor Cuomo in New York called up his National Guard, and they are really I think they got 500 deaths already, and they're the ones that already put in, ordered 85 semis that are refrigerated trucks, and because they won't have a place to mount.
Well, and they said, and there's I even heard a doctor that said, well, you have the 4 big hotspots are New York City, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Seattle, and the reason is they have large amounts of travel back and forth from China. You have Chinese coming here, and you have American going there. And that's the reason those are the 4 big epicenters of this thing.
Well, the New Orleans got hit pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was Mardi Gras. They spread it down there with Mardi Gras.
That's probably not the only disease
that got spread for Mardi Gras, right? But that's the thing with Italy and Iran, too. They have heavy amount of cross-travel with China. So that's...
And actually, we have... I forget who's got the most deaths right now. Is it Italy or Spain?
Spain was up there. Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. Well, it's not over, and I think we heard today that President Trump is going to go county by county, and there's no reason in our view, why a little remote place, for example, in northern Wisconsin that has maybe 1,000 people, needs to be quarantined for all this time. So get people back to work, and maybe his, Easter isn't such a bad deal. That's 3 weeks, another 3 weeks. So.
The other thing that's happening in northern Wisconsin, both Door County and some of the counties in the North Woods are saying to the people of Chicago, don't come up to your fishing cabin.
Cabin,
right.
And, well, the tourism business in Door County, and especially up by the Dells.
Don't come up here on vacation. We don't want you.
Yeah. Remember that old thing? Escape to Wisconsin?
Yep.
They should put a big sign, hell no, go back.
Stay away.
Yeah, get on this exit by the 165 and it'll take you right around and take you back on. It was announced, the Olympics have been canceled, and now, again, they...
Postponed. You can't
postponed.
cancel
That's right.
Postponed.
Postponed
Everything
for another year.
It's only postponed.
Right.
So.
I don't know. And, of course, the Memorial Day 500... is going to be moved to August, and that makes sense. You don't have to, because all the revenue that they would lose, and if the Masters gets moved to August, and I don't know what was decided. Baseball, I'm going to think is going to start.
I don't think anything's been decided with baseball. So.
Well, all the players are home anyway. I'm thinking June 1st, and it'll show that they don't need to play 162 games.
Right.
And
that happened before when they had a strike.
Yeah, and I think here's what's going to
short season.
Now, these guys like Ryan Braun and Yelich, that's getting multi-million-dollar salaries, who's going to have enough money to go pay $12 for a beer and $100 for a ticket? They're going to have to, if the Brewers, the Cubs, and the other baseball team's going to have some very creative, back in the, roll back the prices 30 years, because nobody's going to be paying those prices. And I think if they start at June 1st, I think they could have a nice season, still have the playoffs.
Yesterday was supposed to be opening day.
That's right, Brewers and the Cubs.
And the Cubs, yep.
So, and then if the players are still going to be, I guess if they go back, they got contracts, they get paid. But the owners are going to be really hurt because there's not going to be enough revenue coming out of the stands, or even the television revenue in the big markets, like the Cubs are now on pay-per-view. I think the Yankees have huge television contracts. And that's going to ball that whole thing. And I don't know what they've decided on pro basketball. If they, I've been following that, but I haven't heard anything if they're going to continue the season. This would be this would have been the Final Four would be played, I think, next week from. This would have been the...
For NCAA.
For the March Madness.
Right.
This would have been the weekend for the Elite Eight, and then you'd have the Final Four next weekend, and then the championship game, I think that probably be like the 4th of April, but as we know, that's gone to the side. And of course, the Kenosha County District Attorney, Mike Gravely, put out some guidelines to local law enforcement, to the sheriff and that, and the police department. I mean, people are making sacrifices, so don't go knocking, unless there's a person parked in front of my house. Then go over and put 10 tickets on the blooming car. And people are already calling in, man, there's 10 people over here. And I mean, if you think that, that's going to get you something, you're not going to win anything from the, what's the fund where the tip of the week or something, where you can get, what's the name of that place? When you call in the hot tip and you can get money, something.
Crime Stoppers?
Crime Stoppers.
They give you money for that?
Yeah, you get if the guy goes to jail. So anyway, again, use common sense and, stay away from closeness like this. I saw this picture in paper today. Two morons, I don't know if you can see this, probably can't see from that distance. Two morons out in the harbor fishing. Now,
it's not bimbo, is it?
Where's their obligation to the community? They're not 6 feet apart. Now
Well, they're at least 6 feet apart from everybody else.
Well, yeah, but the fish, they're right there catching dead fish and...
Fish fires?
Fish fires, yeah. We are considered essential. Fishing, two lonely guys sitting together in a boat, that doesn't cut it.
Well, Captain Mike sent me a thing that Bimbo caught a great big walleye or something on the lake last night, so I haven't looked at it yet.
He fishes off the pier. I mean, generally, so Bimbo's our guy out there in the bread world, and he can't keep bread on the shelves the last time we talked to him, which was 10 days ago. And he said this would normally be a...
I was at the store at 11 o'clock this morning, and the bread was pretty well picked over.
Yeah.
So my parents wanted cinnamon raisin bread. You think I could find that? Yeah, actually
Cinnamon
did.
raisin bread. You're lucky if you got,
I like that for toast in the morning. So.
Oh, well. Anyway, these two guys, I hope they, who would be, it's got to be freezing out there in the morning going out in that harbor. This is right in the middle of the harbor. And then you only have to go a little bit to the lighthouse. And then it gets a little rough out
Nobody
there.
can see it, so I guess why are we even talking about
all
it?
right.
So.
I see this in the Kenosha News today. Now, I'm thinking that this is, because it was right about in the same first section, I'm thinking these are the obituaries. I mean, it's the same print and the same pictures. I go, geez, I didn't know this Dave Celebrity passed away. This guy, he's right. These guys are all living, and this is the news of their endorsement. But, I mean, doesn't it look the same? Same kind of picture?
Pretty much, yeah.
So, I get a little foggy. I start putting eye drops in my eyeballs in the morning. But it brings me to this. I don't know. I guess the state of Wisconsin is still going to go ahead with our election on April 7th, right?
So far.
And I think if you can, I thought the deadline was passed, but if you get to the county clerk, city clerk, if you're in the city, and you can request an absentee
Or whatever your town, village, whatever, your municipal.
And get a, what do you call it, absentee ballot.
Mm-hmm.
And, you don't even have to do it for everyone. You can click on, like I've done, I think you've done it, you can get one for every election.
Well, it's supposed to be if you're permanently disabled and can't leave the house, which is...
Well, I walk with a limp every morning.
That's right. Okay.
Banging on the wood. You seen the corner of my wall over there?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a little break, and when we get back, we'll have some weather, and then we'll finish off our discussion. Stay with us.
Nobody heard anything. I forgot to
Once
turn
again, a very good
Okay.
afternoon to everybody. You know, we got criticized because we inadvertently left the
Yeah, no, I
because
turned it
you
on, I
hear
forget
you
to
guys
turn it
during
back
the thing.
on.
So anyway, we are here.
Tough
Welcome
when you know
to
this
the
engineering work on top of being on cameras.
which we plan to stream live every afternoon at 2 p.m. And we will be here tomorrow morning with the Breakfast Club at 10 a.m. It is now 31 minutes after 2 here in the Kenosha Today Nation, bringing you the best as we can in news, weather, sports, and entertainment. Again, we invite you to join the thousands of our fans who have already signed up and liked us on Facebook. And we are brought to you by our major sponsors, Barter's Financial Planning Services, the Union Park Tavern, along with a host of many other very fine local businesses. And Union Park Tavern is having tonight, they have their carry-out, right?
Yep.
And you can go
Curbside pickup.
Curbside pickup.
Call them and then they will make up your order for you, and then they'll tell you about how long, and you call them again when you're there, and they bring it right out to your car right there. So
There you go. Who's this? Mike. There is no sound.
there is now. because
There is
they're on-
now, Mike. Thanks.
There's on a delay.
It was on a delay. There you go. See how people care about us.
That's
We're
right.
all in this together.
That's right.
So we invite you to give us a call with your comments or questions during these very troubling times. Our new number, 262-597-3020. And today's up-to-date weather is sponsored by Capo Web Design, which is a locally owned web design and development business here in Kenosha. There you go. See, you talk about technology. Way to go, Elmo.
That's right.
And specializing in website design, development, maintenance, site services, and support, who actually designed and is currently developing our site, KenoshaToday.com. And for more information, there you go, www.capowebdesign.com.
He has to update it. Still says we're on WLIP in there.
Oh, yeah, update that, will you, Mike? Today's weather is what's 43 degrees here in the Kenosha Today Nation, but starting tomorrow, it's going to get a little snotty. It's going to get up to 48 degrees.
Thunderstorms and possible hail. they said.
80% rain for tomorrow.
Tomorrow afternoon. Yeah.
Tomorrow afternoon, and then when we get to Sunday, going to get up to 50, 48 on Monday, but
Yep.
then the sun pops back out. So we may have just have turned.
Springtime in
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
my grass is starting to get green, and I'm going to get
Got
my-
gas in the lawnmower this year?
my lawnmowers are out being worked on, and so I hope to have that come back shortly. At any rate, there's when I was showing these guys about, and I thought they were what do you call obituaries. It reminded me of a thing. Why does the Kenosha News in the endorsement business? And I think this started forever.
It's been tradition. Newspapers have always been in the endorsement business.
I suppose the question: should the newspaper stay out of the endorsement business and let the people decide who they want to vote for?
Well, no, we'll see. I would see who the Kenosha News endorsed and then vote for the opponent.
That's usually how I got to tell you, one time that did not work. April 6, 1996. And I just got a text that the Burlington Chocolate Fest has been postponed. Mm-hmm. And let's just see if looks good. Sound that Spider from this morning.
Yeah,
He says there is still no sign. We got sound here, don't we?
it shows on here. So
Of course, that was at 2:32, so we're back in the sound business. We were talking, obviously, if you haven't heard the news, the House passed the $2 trillion stimulus bill, and you can go onto their website, and you can put in a number of things, and it'll tell you how much you're going to get. And we still don't know how in the world this is going to be paid, or from what bank this is going to be paid, unless they're making
printing press is where it's
down
coming
there.
from. Yep,
Down there at the underneath the bridge, there's
printing press.
608. That's Madison. That
Yep.
would be Tony Evers
There's
calling
that.
us.
Gonna send the National Guard after us.
Our only good news. No, here's some good news. The toilet paper won't run out, according to this article, and it's the same thing. Fear and panic strike. And I don't know why toilet paper was on everybody's list. This is a respiratory disease. Not coming from the
Well,
other
they thought they were going to be quarantined. They're afraid of running out. So
Well, yeah, but
I, for one, keep an ample supply in the bunker. So in case of emergency like this, I'm in good shape. I always keep an ample supply.
I had enough that would have lasted me till through this next week, but I was over at the pharmacy thing here, and I paid $10 for 12 rolls, and there was a limit. But that should, unless I have a bad stomach problem, that should last me for the at least through the month of April.
Through the month of April. 10 rolls, boy.
Well, I'm only one here, you know. But this article goes on to say the great toilet paper panic of 2020 worsens. You know, humans have long wiped their rears with whatever they had at hand. Back in the old days, they had leaves, moss, porous stones. That'll clean you out a little bit.
It's like lava soap.
Seashells, and the Romans used a sponge on a stick. See, this is what we're reduced to. When we're tired, we're talking about the virus. We're talking about, but this is everyday stuff.
That's right.
You know, corn cobs were popular here, and the Chinese were the first ones that created paper 2,000 years ago. Of course, they're the ones that got us into this virus thing to begin with.
That's right.
And then in 1857, a New York businessman, Joseph Gaiety, began manufacturing paper for the water closet, and then another guy named Seth Wheeler in 1871 became the first guy that actually put toilet paper on a roll. So there you have it, a little bit of history.
You're just a wealth of information here, aren't you, Uncle Scotty?
Reduced to talking about the history of toilet paper. And here's something for all you good Catholics. During Lent, you know, they encourage you to give up eating meat during Lent, and that you have to abstain from eating meat on Fridays. And apparently the bishops are saying, well, there's enough sacrifices being made during the coronavirus crisis, so go ahead and eat your meat all you want. You don't have to do any of that anymore. You don't have to abstain from meat on
Special
Fridays.
dispensation.
You know, I don't know if
And I'm not even a Catholic, and I know what that is.
Did you, I never, you know, that's how Fish Fry Fridays used to start, right? I mean, just about everybody in the restaurant business had a Fish Fry Friday.
Well, supposedly, your Catholics are never supposed to have meat on Friday. Ever.
Right.
During the year, and then during Lent, they're not supposed to eat it at all. Every day of the week.
Oh. Now, Easter is coming up on the 12th, so you know what? If we get to there, and I'm hoping that Wisconsin will have so-called peaked on this thing and start.
What's going to happen if the Easter Bunny gets the Chinese virus?
He's not in this with us. You know what? Maybe we're going to have a top 10 tomorrow, and maybe Governor Tony the Tiger better get a hold of the Easter Bunny and straighten his ass out, because we don't want the Easter Bunnies spreading the whatever disease they have. We talked about a lot of restaurants, especially our sponsor, Union Park, having takeouts, and people are questioning how safe is it. And actually, according to this, Elmo says the viruses are not likely to be transmitted by food versus the person that's handing it to you. And so if they're taking all the precautions to wash their hands and do all this, highly unlikely is a takeout order of food going to be cause you to get the virus unless you're taking out some Chinese takeout over in.
Well, it's like at Union Park, they're all wearing gloves there and disinfecting them between everyone. In fact, when I was shopping for my parents at the grocery store today, the guy that was bagging the things had rubber gloves on, and he would bag the order. You got your order, off with the gloves, new pair on. So for every customer, he was touching their food and stuff like that. But
I'm thinking that that's how this is going to spread. And if they're taking that kind of, like I said at the pharmacy today, not only did the guy have gloves, but they had this huge plastic in front of him, and you just had this much to slide the money in. And have I been wearing gloves? No. Nope. Maybe I should, but I don't have. All I got is golf gloves and some snowmobile
golf gloves.
Pulling my golf course, and they better get those golf courses open. There's no reason to have those closed because, I mean, if you've seen golfers out there, I mean, they're all over the place. So, you know, who keeps calling me? This is nonsense.
You know, I did hear this morning there's a online petition to the governor to get him to open up the golf courses, and I don't know where it is. You could probably just Google Wisconsin golf course,
There is
petition.
That's the guy I heard. Yeah, that's the guy I heard yesterday. He's from some Wisconsin Golf Association.
Apparently, it went up because they were talking. You know, they in the few minutes the guy was talking about it, they got 10,000 more signatures to it. So they're up to about 40 or 50,000. I don't know. So, and there really is, you know, no reason you couldn't open a golf course. Like I said, you know, if you're pulling carts,
right?
You know, you're apart from each other. You got your own equipment. You got your own balls. You got, you know, and they talked about pulling the cup out of, you know, so if you ding the cup, you don't have to reach in where some other schmoo had his
I've been doing
hand
that.
in the.
I've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
That's
a gimme. That's a gimme. Right.
I was playing with a guy. He was getting that. He'd get within like 4 or 5 feet, and he'd pick it up. And I said, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, that's a gimme, isn't it?" Well, sure. And about almost
It's supposed to be within the leather. That's the one
we play. If you put your putter down in the cup, and if it's within, they call the secret circle. Because it just saves time and.
Yeah, for that, or if it was, you know, if you're getting pushed from behind. Oh no, it was within the grip length. That's what we always did. So.
Well, we played. You know, when I sub in the Moose Golf League, that's what they play. It just speeds up the time. So the guy come up with those big belly things and gives him another 3 feet.
The belly putters, yeah.
Now here's something, Elmo, we got to address. This is a real tough problem. Women that are now working from home are working braless. And
It's a problem?
Well, it is. It could be for them because according to this doctor, it's going to be damaging their breast ligaments if they don't, especially if you got big breasts. You see the problem here? That's the story. I thought you'd weigh in on this. So we got to call the governor, and we'll have our own little online sagging safe at home. How's that working?
Well, did you see what the girl did in New York on Wall Street? They've got the Merrill Lynch bull, the great big bull out there in the middle of.
Oh yeah,
okay.
I see that, but I didn't see that.
She went out there and was riding the bull naked. She had nothing on but a cowboy hat and a pair of cowboy boots.
Only in New York, nah.
And some friend of hers was out there taking pictures, and then somebody from one of the newspapers out there did, and her and her friend took off. But there's all kinds of pictures all over of her riding the bull.
Speaking of the stock market, when we went in there, right before we went in there, it was down about $600 or $700 points. After 2 great days of coming back, and the stocks that are taking the hit is the Boeing and the airplane stocks.
Yep.
And I guess those that are in the cruise lines, there's nothing in this stimulus package. Apparently, it's going to bail out the cruise lines, the 4 or 5 big ones. So everybody's looking for money, and there's small business loans available, but I haven't seen an application. What qualifies that? But I think the biggest one is putting more stimulus money in everybody's pocket, probably before the end of April.
I just think when this whole thing is over, there's going to be some amazing bargains in the stock market that people, you know.
It's just I've never.
If their companies aren't bankrupt, but you can buy low, and then once things get starting back together.
I've just never seen this, within every 2 days.
Oh, that happened in 2008.
Well,
when the financial crisis hit, it was doing the same thing, except it did that for a month, and then all of a sudden it didn't go back up.
Now, you were still in the title business in 8, weren't you?
Nope, I was out.
Okay. All right, well, you had...
Because I could see that coming, man.
That's what I was going to ask you. How far
I could see that coming a mile away.
You saw that coming because they were giving people money that had no business.
Nope.
Getting a $300,000 mortgage, and you weren't making enough to make $100,000.
Well, you just do this. We're lending your down payment in the form of a home equity loan, and don't worry. Your payments will be real low for the first year. They're adjustable rate loans too,
right.
And then they shot way up. Like I had one, it was like 3% for the first year, and it went to 12% after that. And they were just told, oh no, you can your house value keep going up. You just wait 9 months and you can just refinance it, and then get a fixed rate loan that's that's lower, and everything will be fine. Well, guess what? The values didn't go up, and now
They owed more than the houses were worth at the time.
The term is underwater.
And then they had what they called short sales, and the government bailed those people out. If you had to sell without getting too technical, your house on a short sale, technically that profit would have been income, but they waived it all. So if you had that big difference. I had a couple cases like that. So government bailed out that. How many years back before could you see that coming? 2, or maybe even earlier?
About 05. We sold in 06. So.
Oh, okay. Got out the right time, right?
Yep.
Who bought that place? It doesn't make a difference who bought it there.
Yep,
Are they still in business?
It was one of the major underwriters that bought it.
Okay. So anyway, one thing is, you're watching, I don't care if you're watching Fox or whatever, you got Como and Trump sparring, and Como's saying, I need X amount of beds or ventilators, and Trump says, you don't need them now, and he says, no, you're right, I don't need them now, but as things project, he's going to need them at some point in the next couple of weeks. But for them to spar publicly, I wish they wouldn't do that, because that's not helping anything. And if anybody wants to give us a call, 262-597-3020. If you're for a national 3-week shutdown, if you're not, tell us, or if you think Tony Evers is on the right track, or if you just leave it up to each county and go from there. So other than that, Elmo.
What I thought was really bad was the media treatment of this, because they had Trump giving a news conference and saying stuff, and then they had Cuomo, the governor of New York, getting up there and saying the exact same thing. And the media said, Trump is an idiot, he doesn't know what he's talking about, Cuomo is a genius. And they're saying the exact same thing. So it's just,
was his dad,
why bother watching television news?
Was
It
his
just
dad
all
Mario Cuomo?
stinks. What?
Was his dad Mario
Yeah.
Cuomo?
Mm-hmm.
And he was also the governor, right, of New York?
Yeah. Or governor or senator, and then he was head of national security under,
Oh, yeah.
was he under Clinton or, I can't think of which president it was.
Well, listening to the guy, I looked it up, he's only 62, and he's a Democrat, but if Trump is successful, I think he might make a great Democratic candidate in 4 years. That's just, I didn't know he existed, but I found him very eloquent to talk when he was talking, and it's just...
He's actually displaying a little bit of leadership compared to some of these other yahoos that are out there, like what we have in Wisconsin. So
when he had instead of the press today, he had members of his National Guard that he called up, and I mean, it was an inspiring speech. So, but he's under tremendous problems out there in New York with already I think it's 500 deaths. But at any rate, anything else we want to?
Not particularly. I have nothing. Just join us tomorrow at 10 o'clock
for the Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club. And what are you making?
You don't want me to make anything. I saw, you see that on my kitchen, and there, that nice, was it a roaster? Not a roaster, but...
Oh, the Instapot?
Instapot. Not the Instapot, but the thing on the other side. I bought that for myself as one of those fancy new computerized pressure cookers.
Yeah, that's the Instapot.
Yeah, okay. Well, I saw them, and everybody tells me the great things about them, so I got one at one of the local stores, got a great discount. That was my Christmas, and do you think I can figure out how to use that?
They're supposed to be very simple.
Well, there you have it. So, and that is going to wrap it up for the March 27th edition of our Kenosha Today Daily Update. I want to thank our sponsors, Barter's Financial Planning Services, the Union Park Tavern, and Kenosha's for Open Honest Government, and Charlie V's Kids for Cancer Treatment Foundation. We've been streaming to you live this afternoon from the Barter Manor studio located on the corner of Happy and What Went Wrong. And so for Elmo and myself, we tee it up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And we thank you for the privilege of your time. I'm Scottie Barter, and have a very pleasant and safe afternoon. That's playing, right? That's playing. Which one? You have been
Inactive. We didn't get any calls.
up there. Was it 3150? See on the gray there?